So the best day, or the best single day on the calendar for me. Well, one, of course, there's a couple of things, right? A couple of days, right? Of course, there's Easter Sunday, Jesus' birthday, right? And basically, I put in my notes again, without Jesus, again, a lot of the stuff that we have, a lot of the stuff that we've come to enjoy, we probably we not I'm not even going to say probably. Hell, we wouldn't even be able to get none of that. All right. Now, I'm not gonna go too much on a religious, on a religious strand or whatever, but excuse me, just because to be honest, I pray daily, but I do not read the Bible or whatever. Definitely not enough so to go on that strand and talk that religion, or talk too much of the religious talk. All right, but nonetheless, though, Easter Sunday is one of those days that we should all keep in mind, right? Of course, Christmas being the presents and the food, precisely in that order. The presents is it, man. The presents is it. And at the beginning of, well, not at the beginning. Yeah, no. What's it called? Well, yeah. Once we return, just before, not just before, wow, let me get my words together. Just after we returned from break, one of the things that I just said was, whenever you get something good, all right, one, you got to be grateful, be gracious, all right, be humble, and be thankful for whatever good that you get, because it's not all the time that something good comes your way. You're not guaranteed that, all right. And in fact, sometimes you might, hell, you might fuck around and go through and experience a lot of negatives, a lot of bad stuff, a lot of shit that you don't want before you get that one thing that you do want. Right. And hell, you even when you do that one good thing will most likely probably outweigh all the other negative shit, all the other negative stuff that you had to deal with. All right. But yeah, Christmas, I think, again, it's connected to what I was just talking about. All right. Again, you're getting presents now. Ideally presents that that you put on the list, presents that you want, presents that you've indicated an interest for. Right. And not only that, but of course the food. Everybody wants to be fed, man. It is no fun being hungry. It's no fun being hungry. All right. so definitely, and I just gotta say, man, Christmas. Well, at least for me anyway. I don't quite know about anybody else, but like when it comes to food, like, hey, and big shout outs to my mom. Whenever she does make food for Christmas or whatever, it's the same food as Thanksgiving, but nonetheless, though, shoot, hey, I like it. I enjoy it. It's that fucking gas, and not only that, like I said, very gracious. It ain't too often that I have people, or that I'm able to have anybody cook for me. Right, so yeah, no, I'm definitely appreciative of that. All right, hell, I enjoy everything from the ham to the macaroni and cheese to the collard greens to what else? There's something else. Damn, there's something else that oh, bro, how the hell could I forget this? All right, man, cranberry. Right, listen, the cranberry sauce. The cranberry sauce, I'm gonna say this, it's better than cranberry juice, but yo, the cranberry sauce is lit, especially when refrigerated. All right, and of course, I'm getting into some of my talk for the Thanksgiving. All right, for the Thanksgiving food. But yes, now one thing I can say that I will and do without is the motherfucking stuffing. I do not like stuffing. It's something, ain't it? The stuffing ain't it, man. The stuffing is not it, not at all. But nonetheless, though, again, the presents, and not only that, but I've already mentioned this as well. But as far as the presents, man, shoot, it's just hell. It's been a long stretch, and I'm going to do my best to like make this happen for myself. But I've been fortunate enough to have a number of what I call grand slam Christmases. And Grand Slam Christmases essentially is basically a year of academic, well, one, I'll just say just excellence in general, right? When it comes to basically anything that I've just throughout the years, it's basically been me doing whatever it is that I needed to do within school, me doing whatever it is that I needed to do with regard to, any extracurricular activities, any clubs that I've been a part of, or any sports. And I'm not going to say sports, but I'll say really football, right? Now, granted, ever since I've actually worked, like meaning any year that like I've got a job or whatever, I haven't had a grand slam. But God has been fortunate enough. Now, pause. I am not rich by no means, but hey, listen. When IRS, well, yeah, when the IRS sent that what's it called? I don't know what I forget what it is. The stimulus, right? When the IRS sent the stimulus, man, shoot, bro, that was one hell of a blessing, man. And on top of continuing to keep working and all that other sort of jazz, and still just make some money for myself, and not only that, coupled with the fact that I'm not really. That of course I'm paying for my groceries, but nothing much outside of that. Well, I'll say outside of that is really building up these kingdoms, building up these empires. I'm trying to work and purchase whatever materials, resources, goods that I need in order to build it up, right? But outside of that, listen, I've got a little bit of something, and I'm going and I'm happy that I get the chance to really again create something for myself that I hadn't had in a while, and not only that, it'll be that much sweeter because I created it for myself. It's always something when you're able to do it for yourself. So yeah, and not only that though, again, pause, right? I'm not gonna take too much time. I have one final. And I know I said what's your favorite calendar, like what's your favorite day of the calendar. I have one final answer, and funny enough, this is not a like calendar. It's really a season, but I'll say Summer Madness, right? Summer Madness. Big shout outs to URL, the Battle Rap League. All right, big shout outs to them because like they have a card called Summer Madness, and it typically is. It's typically the top two card. There's a number of events that they have, but it's typically top two every freaking year. Either it's number one or it's number two behind Gnome. But anyway, right? Summer Madness. The reason why I call it Summer Madness is because there's always a new creation that comes from it. All right, that for me, like during the summertime, my brain is like after the school work stops or whatever, my brain doesn't stop. I create like there's a new creation, right? Like in one particular summer, there was the creation of the Blue Empire. In fact, I'm not gonna lie, the Blue Empire was the best. Well, not the best, but the first empire to be created, and really what's encompassed within the Blue Empire is the blog websites that I have, and which, by the way, I'll be getting started up on that at some time. At some point in time. There's also the creation of the large visions, the creation of the color spectrum, the creation of the internal sphere, and the creation of the external sphere. And although some of these concepts are what I just stated, the creation of let's take the internal sphere and the external sphere is not necessary. Perhaps it's not necessarily the creation, but it's more so the establishment, right? Really, really cementing it and putting it into the world that bam, this is like although it may have always been present, this is real. This is fucking real. All right, and again, I'm not gonna take too much time talking too much because we have some other shit to get into. All right, now let me see how much time I got on the camera. Not bad. All right, I've got about 16 minutes or whatever, but it's cool. It's cool, right? We have some good shit to get into. right? If only, yo, every time that I reorganize this camera, bro, if y'all could see, man, bro, like it's on a stand, and I keep fucking up the stand, like it's just always I just keep reorganizing it, like removing it all about, but it's whatever, right? On to the next, right? The the first hot main question, right? Or hot topic. We are going to go this is a different turn, right? Because this is focused towards climate. And the topic question is that, or at least that I put, the topic is Mother Nature is pissed. All right? And the official title is, at least of this particular of this article, is World Leaders Sound the Alarm at COP26, but do their actions add up? And the source comes from Inside Climate News, all right? And basically, like, some information that I have, right? I'm going to read a couple quotes, but essentially this is about, wow, wow, damn, it's been that long since I took a look at this article, right? It's only been a week, but essentially this is pertaining towards the meeting of various of the world leaders regarding essentially how the different countries are going to go about in solving the weather and climate related problems, that basically all the countries face, all right? Because of course, the more and more pollution and the more that we damage the earth, that's definitely shit. That's only going to be trouble for the next year, and it's going to be trouble for the next generation, and it's going to be trouble for the next generation, and whoever else that comes on down in the line. But I did get a couple quotes, and I'm going to read them out to you guys, right? So the first quote that I had stated, for anyone who has followed climate change news closely, the same story has always played out like a broken record, all right? Science shows how climate is warming faster than, we had previously thought, requiring even steeper emission cuts and more funding for adaptation, but the action to address the issue lags far behind, right? This is known as the emissions gap, and that gap is widening. All right. Now, basically, again, this being that, although there's been plenty of freaking leaders, plenty of people that's come about and been like, yo, like climate change, global warming, all that other sort of jazz is a real problem. It's a big problem. We've seen evidence of it. We feel evidence of it. Every pause, especially people within Florida. You goddamn right. We know for certain that it's a real thing because everybody complains about the weather, right? And that has only grown and become more drastic over the years, right? And I wonder why. It's not a coincidence that global warming and all that other sort of shit just happens to keep on going and going and going and going and increasing and all that other sort of jazz, all right? And I mean, it's connected. Well, I don't even know. Maybe connected is not the right word, right? This will just be a synonym, but correlated, right? But let me read the next question, or the next quote, right? The next quote states, as world leaders gathered in Glasgow on Sunday, the Sunday, I think it's not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that, right? As world leaders gathered in Glasgow on Sunday for the United Nations conference, expectations of what might be collectively accomplished by the more than 193 countries that signed the 2015 Paris Agreement were now already low. Nearly all of the world's carbon emissions, 80%, come from just 20 of the world's wealthiest nations. And many people saw it as an ominous sign when those countries emerged from the G20 summit that same day without strong new pledges, which scientists say are necessary to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2100 and avoid its worst consequences. Shit. Wow. Okay. Damn. Okay, I'll get into whatever thoughts, whatever that I may have at the end, but I'll just keep reading the quotes. All right, and I have two more. At best, G20 members, which include the United States and the European Union, promised to stop funding coal-fired power plants in poor countries. Ooh, excuse me, and made a vague commitment to seek carbon neutrality by or around mid-century. Yet it was the leaders of those same nations that sounded the alarm on the first 2 days of COP26, highlighting the bizarre disconnect between the public rhetoric and what has long proven to be their inability to take robust action, right? But the opening days for, well, yeah, this is the final quote. But the opening days for COP26 weren't entirely without progress. In the first substantial deal announced at the summit, more than 100 world leaders representing over 85% of the planet's forests committed on Tuesday to ending and reversing deforestation and land degradation by 2030, CNN reported, right? Now, damn, this is a lot of information. All right, this is definitely a lot. You guys feel free to rewind the reading of those quotes. But of course, we know I'll go through and try and take what's it called? I guess add any thoughts that I may have. Oh, any thoughts that I may have regarding the regarding any of what the information that was proposed. But nonetheless, so not only that, you guys should definitely check out the article. Again, the article is titled "World Leaders Sound the Alarm at COP26 but Do Their Actions Add Up," and the source, the website again, is Inside Climate News, right? And basically, well, I'm not gonna say basically, but one of the main things that really stuck out to me was, again, everybody sort of kind of sounding the alarm on the fact that, again, action needs to be taken. It's nothing new. Action has always needed to be taken. We've known that for a while, but in particularly the second quote where it stated nearly all of the world's carbon emissions, 80% come from just 20 of the world's wealthiest nations, and many people saw it as an ominous sign when those countries emerged from the G20 summit that same day without strong new pledges, right? And I think nonetheless, though, then some of the, you know what? Oh, dang, my camera cut out. Okay, it's cool. But nonetheless, I'm still going to continue this thought, right? Nonetheless, some of the same things that we see play out and be true and present for just within. I'm not gonna say local politics. I mean, and nonetheless, I think it is present at local politics. We know for sure. We know as a certainty. We've seen it. We can pinpoint examples where shit like this happens at the whether it be the state, but really the national level. We know and seen instances where a whole bunch of congressmen, U.S. congressmen that is, talk about how something is an issue, whatever. It is such a dire issue. Something needs to be done. This is the action that needs to be done. This will help so many people. This is supposed to do this, that, blah, 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 yada, 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 all that other sort of jazz. But nonetheless, it is the action part. You know what? Y'all. Let me. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna drop something on y'all. I'm gonna tell you guys this. Society is really good. Society is good at a lot of things. Let me say that. Society is good at a lot of different things. One of the things that society is good at is society is good at knowing. Right, it's good at finding information and knowing, just whatever it is that needs to be known, knowing it, right? Now, maybe the time in which society as a unit or whoever does come about and know something, perhaps we can debate that or whatever. That perhaps could be changed, right? It would be ideal if we know sooner. Right, or maybe in some instances if we know later, but Knowing is, and we're all familiar with this particular this idea, this statement. But knowing is a percentage of the battle, right? There, we have the knowledge of it. And my fault. Let me stop looking down. Let me stop looking down at myself. Let me look straight into the camera. Knowing is a percentage of the battle. But nonetheless, though, there's still the action part. And when it comes to politics, in some countries it's different than others. But particularly in the the American government, action is always difficult because it requires somebody else. It requires some other. It requires a majority of people, right? And then not only that, once you get the majority of people within one particular, body or entity, you then need another entity. You then need another entity to help you, right? And then not only that, here's the funny thing, and this is how I guess another gem, another thing to keep in mind. Sometimes things are connected that you don't that perhaps you may not think. A lot of things are connected, and people might be unaware of it, because when it comes to American politics, not only that, I'm going to connect it right back to what the quote of interest that I just brought, right? But though it takes the efforts, it takes a majority, right, within a particular entity, and then it takes help and assistance from another entity. It also takes the lack of opposition from, or it takes the lack, it takes the lack of or reduced opposition, or reduced I guess pushback or whatever, for something to happen. All right, so it's always tough. But what I will say with regard to this, yes, this takes a collected effort. All right, this is not no one man. This ain't no one man wrecking crew. Ain't no one man wrecking crew getting this one. Nah. Now again, people know what should be done. People know what must be done. But people have to freaking act. People have to act. All right. Now, again, sometimes it's difficult, picking out what it is, like what the measures should be. But nonetheless, man, even still, there needs to be something done. All right. And as far as the leaders, y'all have it. Y'all know what needs to be done. Y'all know potential solutions and all that other sort of jazz. But listen, it's just a means of acting upon it. So it's time to act upon it. All right, especially if we're talking about, helping out, our children and our children's children and our children's children's children. Otherwise, hell, if we ain't doing that, then what the fuck are we flapping our gums for? All right. I know it sounds good, it's what a politician is supposed to do. It's what the president and the the prime minister and the representative and the diplomat and whatever else it's what they're supposed to do. But again, if ain't shit being done, what the fuck are we talking about? Really, what the fuck are we talking about? But man, it's hell. It is what it is sometimes. It is what it is. But let me see though, right? Let me see if there's anything else. What I will say is this though, right? The last particular quote, right? Although in like most of the quotes that I brought up, they were more so geared towards the concept of. They were more so geared towards. Something like basically the negative, the drawback actions, the drawback perspectives, the drawback aspects, of the meetings, and basically what I mean by drawback aspects and drawbacks just in general, as it pertains to to the situation at hand. What I mean by drawbacks is the essentially. Again, the talks of, like, basically the lack of action behind it. But this particular, the last quote is really done so like it's not it wasn't thrown in with that same consideration. It wasn't thrown in with the same connotation. It was actually thrown in with a positive connotation, right? And it says, but the opening days for COP26, of course, weren't entirely without progress, right? In the first substantial deal announced at the summit, more than 100 world leaders representing over 85% of the planet's forests committed on Tuesday to ending and reversing deforestation and land degradation by 2030. So it's good that that's now a commitment held by, again, some of these. Well, hold up. Well, seeing that as there's 196 countries and 100 and more than 100 of them basically committed to this, or at least said that they committed to it. Yeah, that's about more than half. So yeah, I mean, it's good that we're definitely now going to be focused on preserving the lands, and not only that, but saving the trees. But nonetheless, though, that I guess my considerations, my thoughts on this is it's good, but this is also just as similar as the global warming and climate change, aspect, right? When it comes to just when it comes to any of our natural issues, anything of our nature related issues and problems that we have on this planet, it's good that I'm not gonna say we the leaders can commit to it. And it's similar to knowing what needs to be done, but nonetheless, there needs to be there needs to be something done. Like, we know what needs to be done. It's just a means of, again, acting upon it. And I don't mean to keep, beating the drum, bam, bam, bam. Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. But fuck, something needs to be done. Something needs to be said. All right. And you know what? I guess the main thing is, I guess for us, for myself, for the viewers, listeners, or whatever, just be mindful. Keep on the lookout, because because essentially, when it comes to this game of life, there's a whole bunch of teams, all right? And when it comes to Earth, whether or not anybody wants to admit it or not, we all on the same team. We all on the same team, and at some point in time, there's going to be a part that everybody plays, that everybody plays when it comes to, us winning as a collective unit, as a team, and us losing. So everybody just be mindful of that. I'm not saying that y'all need to change up entirely what y'all do and all that other sort of jazz, because I tell you this, it's going to be tough. Hell, I may not change up entirely what I'm going to do, but nonetheless, just keep on the lookout for things that you and I'll say just more so in general, just keep on the lookout for ways that you could help out and could assist, all right? Because even the smallest bit of help can go a long way, right? And that's something that we've all heard before, but nonetheless, again, it's something that must be reiterated, all right? And we always must be cognizant of that, all right? Now, that's all that I have for that particular topic, but I do have one more before we get the fuck up out of here, all right? And what I'll say is this: I'm gonna play a little bit of music, all right, because I'm going to send out the YouTube kingdom because my camera is fucking up and all that other sort of jazz. Matter of fact, let me see if I even have enough time. Oh shit, what the fuck? No no, y'all, guess what happened, bro? Guess what happens? Man, shoot. My camera died. My camera died. Okay, I thought it was because my camera cut out on me. Nah, it just died out. But nonetheless, man, it's all cool. It's all cool. I'm still gonna play a little bit of music. All right, I'm gonna take a little sip. I'm gonna check my phone for whatever notifications that I may or may not have and all that other sort of jazz. And you know what? We're gonna get back into it. All right. Now, thank y'all so much for being here with me. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Now, all in all, these footage, the footages that I have, even the fragmented piece, I know it might be a bit redundant, but I'm still going to release it. All right. So, you know what? I still got it going. All right. But you know what? I'm going to play the music. Again, we still going to take a little bit of a break. All right. But Thank y'all so much again for your patience. We'll go ahead and get right into it, though. Got it.